Hey guys, this is Anthony Morganti from anthonymorganti.com, and this is episode 146 of Photo Critiques. And in this episode, I'm pleased to critique the work of Ruth Sano. And Ruth sent me in some really nice shots. This first one kind of shows it's kind of a busy scene. We have these light stanchions here, these, I think they're flagpoles, these buildings here. And our main subject is this building that's behind all that. And Ruth did a nice job of exploiting the building and minimizing all the distractions. And that's what I talk about a lot in these critiques, is you find out what your subject is, and that's what you want to exploit. And you find out what the distractions could be in the scene, and you want to minimize those. And Ruth did a nice job on this shot. She used an 18 millimeter lens, 18 to 55 millimeter at 18 millimeters, so that she could really maximize the reflections. And 8/10 of a second shutter speed, which helped the reflections also, that longer shutter speed. F of 10, ISO 400, it's a real nice exposure. This a little, you can't see it real well, but this is a real nice shot. This, kind of a carnival scene, dark, got the Ferris wheel here. It's nicely balanced with the food stand here, people in line. It's kind of a nice, gives you an idea what the scene was like. It's a nice shot, very nice, silhouetted sunset, kind of like I always say, the obligatory sunsets, because we're photographers and that's what we do. When we see a beautiful sunset, we have to put the camera up to our eye and take a shot. And Ruth did a really nice job with this shot. Very nicely balanced again. We have the palm tree to the left, this little hut to the right, and this other tree helps frame the sunset real nice. This is a nice shot. The color balance seems really weird to me. I've never seen flower this color, so I don't know if the color balance is on purpose, to be that kind of, green that it was. But just a real quick, color balance adjustment in Lightroom I think helps the image a lot. But I like the composition. It looked like it was a busy scene, so Ruth worked the scene to minimize the distractions, and she has most of that kind of way down here, blurry and dark. And what's behind the flower is nice and clear. So you usually don't want all this right behind the flower because it would be too distracting. So Ruth did a real nice job of working this scene. It's just the color balance seemed kind of odd to me on this shot. It's a very nice shot. This is like a postcard. Very well done. Love the processing. Again, this is kind of a small one, so you won't be able to see it real well on the video. But it's a really, really nice shot. This shot here, very, very nice. I was at the supermarket earlier today, and I was looking at the travel magazines. I always glance at them in the magazine rack. And there was travel magazine, I don't know, it was like Travel to Long Island or something like that. And they had a very similar shot like this on the cover of the magazine. And the only real difference, well, the scene's different, but it was very similar. The difference, though, there were people strolling down the beach. There was a man and woman strolling with their feet in the surf going down the beach. And that really does improve these shots. As you look at it, it's a beautiful shot, beautiful composition. This stick here, I would clone that out, though, just it bleeding up there. It just is a little, it's not needed. Just get rid of it. But it has nice lines, help lead you through the shot. Very interesting sky. But it's missing the human element, because this is what humans do. We enjoy the beach, and we need people on this beach. This is a really nice shot, very cute. The eyes are really dark. We do have some catch lights. It looks like you used possibly the pop-up flash on your camera. And got some nice catch lights. They're a little small, but that's alright. We have a lot of white in it. I think that's why the eyes are so dark. And really, we really got to concentrate on getting the eyes, not that one, sorry. We get the eyes as bright as possible, if at all possible. Just it adds life to the subject, and it adds like texture to the shot. So if we could just brighten them up just a little bit in post. See, we don't want to go too bright. We just want to get them up a little bit, like that. So they just add a little life to the shot. Like there's before and there's after. Even that's a little bit too bright. But it's better if you could do it in camera. And typically how you would, do it with a flash. It looks like this flash was very small. It was 50 millimeter focal length, which is nice for, if you're using a crop sensor camera, it's somewhere between 70 and 80 depending on your manufacturer of the camera. If it's a Nikon, it would be 75 millimeters, which is pretty much a perfect portrait lens. But as I mentioned, is the eyes so dark, it typically isn't becoming the subject. It isn't very attractive. So we got to brighten those eyes up. A lot of times, the flash will be off camera and it will be a larger diffuser, and you'd see these big, catch lights in the eyes. But they do brighten the eyes much more so than this like pointed flash, single little small flash that it appears was used in this shot. This is a really nice shot too. Very nice. Love the color. Composition's real good. Nice focus. Very well done. This is really an excellent shot. This shot here I like too. I like the processing. It's a little bit noisy. That could have been, the way, maybe that it was just made smaller to go up on Dropbox to get to me. But it is a little noisy, and so you might want to use some noise reduction software to bring the noise down a little bit. I don't know if you could see it in the video, but there is a lot of noise in the sky. Additionally, it's not balanced real well. We have this side cut off over here. We have the cross right in the middle just about, but we have more room on this side and this side cut off. So we're better if you're doing something like this. If you're going to bullseye it, have it in the middle and it's kind of equally balanced scene, as it is like right here with these plants, these cactus in the front, these other plants behind it. It's kind of evenly balanced on either side of the cross. We need it balanced in the picture too. It just makes it look better. This is a real nice shot. I really do like this shot. It is a tiny bit dark though. See through in here how dark it is. Now I don't know if you have a calibrated monitor. In your monitor, maybe when you process this, it looked fine, but we're losing some detail in here. I'm not sure if we're clipping. I don't think we are. No, we have the, just almost clipping, but not quite. But I think it's just this dark band going across the middle is not as attractive as it should be. So I think if we went in here and we brought the shadows up just a little bit, it helps offer more detail in this dark area that I was saying before. There's before and there's after. Before, after. Now this one is noisy too. Not as noisy as the previous one, but there is a considerable amount of noise in the sky particularly. So you really might want to consider using some type of noise reduction software. You could do it in Lightroom. I talk about this in my Lightroom videos. If you go down to the detail panel and you go down to the noise reduction, is even a noise reduction of around 40 or so will help really smooth out the noise. Let's see if I could get a better fill here. There we go. I don't know, something you could see on the video. You could still see there's a lot of noise in here, but there's before. Okay, see the noise now? And there's after. You can see how it blurs it a little bit, but it's okay to blur the sky. It blurred this a little bit too, but there is some mist from the clouds down in here, and that is far away. But when you look at it at normal viewing angle and size, it looks fine. So there's before, there's after. Okay, so something to do is just be careful of your noise in the image, especially if you're selling prints. I think a lot of these are very worthy of selling prints. People ask me all the time, how can I sell prints? Go to like coffee houses in your area. I wouldn't. It's the change. You might not have any luck like Starbucks and places like that. Go to the mom and pop coffee houses and diners and ask them if you could hang prints. So you're going to have to pay for all this. You're going to have to, get your prints made and the frames and hang them. And you put them all up there and you have a little sign with a price. And they sell them and you give them commission on it. So, you sell one for $100 and you give them 20 or something like that, and you still make a decent amount of money on it. So that's one way to start selling them locally. And a lot of these, if you live near like a park, a famous area, if you live in Sedona, Arizona, the places people go around, you live near the Grand Canyon or something like that, you live near a national park, is you could take a lot of these shots and you put them in the restaurants in the small towns and all that, and tourists will buy them. and to remember their vacation. So that's a way you would sell prints like this. But you really got to work on the noise, I think, because the noise when you blow this up, even to 8 by 10, it will be really noticeable. I think that's the last one. Yep. Yeah, that's the last one from Ruth. Ruth, you're a great photographer. Thank you for sharing your work with us. I think it's just some of the noise, and maybe your screen on your computer isn't calibrated. Just check into that. And once you get it calibrated, I think these real dark areas that was, at least in this shot, you wouldn't have that problem. So thank you very much, Ruth. I really do appreciate you sharing your work with me. And I'd like to thank everyone who watches all my videos. I really do appreciate it. And if you guys have time, go over to my website, anthonymorganti.com. I got all kinds of photography stuff over there. And I'd really appreciate it if you went over to YouTube and subscribed to my YouTube channel. And that's it for now. I'll talk to you guys soon.